Hey everyone, I'm going off script for today's video. I wanted to talk about some of the things that I don't think get talked enough about in the indie game circles, some of the problems that we face, and sort of relate those to my experiences with my game, Floromancer. I have shown a fair amount of this game, and we're progressing really well, but we face new problems every day in the game, and I prefer to solve these kinds of things on my own because I'm making something for me. When at the beginning of working on this project, I thought about my audience, which is something that is important to think about, right? I see a lot of videos on YouTube, like I'm starting my dream game, and that term dream game in particular, and I think that's great, and I think that's really important. And I would say Floromancer is a dream game of mine, but to me, that term dream game means my audience is me. I'm not really interested in making something commercial. I'm interested in making something great that I love and that I enjoy. Does that mean that I'm not interested in selling the game and making a couple bucks? No, I would love that, but that's not really my goal. I would rather reach 1 million people for free than 1,000 for $1. But that brings up the conundrum that I was sort of thinking about that I wanted to just go on record and say, balancing that, right? When you make your game with any kind of size or scale, you're talking about a years long investment. There's game jam games, there's smaller ones, flash games, mobile games. It might not always be years long, but when you're talking about these dream games, these huge, sprawling, story-driven or not, or action-driven, whatever, this stuff takes years as an independent developer, and you have to be prepared for that journey and look at it big picture a little bit. Because I'm happy to sit here and say I would love for Floromancer to be free. It's about bringing joy and happiness, and I don't think joy and happiness should be locked behind a paywall. I don't think that's how I want the world to work. But at the same time, that is how the world works. Not that I support or agree with capitalism being the end-all be-all of our entertainment and our happiness and everything, but this is a years-long investment for me. I work a full-time job, 50 to 60 hours a week, and I'm putting another 10 or so into Floromancer while balancing my life and my relationships and everything. So what is my return on that? A little bit of my return on that has been building a small community in the Discord and seeing those thumbs up and smile reactions to the game. That means so much to me. I don't sit here and peddle my game and my Discord and my YouTube channel for the sake of monetizing or building an audience of buyers. That's not what I'm doing it for. I'm doing it to just make something that people think is fun and puts a smile on their face. But at the end of the day, what is my return? Did I reach 1 million people and made them happy? Is that worth tens of thousands of hours of development over the course of years? Maybe not tens of thousands, but you get the idea. I would like to say that I think so. I really would. But for the sacrifice that I made for this game, I feel like a little bit of a monetary return is important. So when we look at that, can we realistically go back and say, I don't want to make something commercial? Because at a certain point, you have to decide, yes, I'm making this for me. This is my dream game. I want this to be something great. I want this to be something enjoyable, and I'm making it to make people happy. But where do I draw the line and say, I need to monetize this, I need to put this on Steam or whatever for $20, and what's going to be my $20 draw? Why do people want this? I can't just go on the Steam listing and say, this game makes you happy, because I can't guarantee that, It's about, well, I made another video on what the game is about and my writing themes and everything, and we can look at that later. But these are the problems that I face every day, outside of bugs and oh, this sprite takes me 10 minutes to draw, and I don't even know how to tackle this next piece that I want to build. It's more a issue of, and I think the issues that aren't talked about enough are the bigger picture things like this and the adjustments that you have to make. If you want to make something commercial to sell it and make money, that's great, and you should do what you want to do. You should make games, you should follow your passions, but finding the right level of risk versus reward and time investment versus return is a tough thing, is a really, really tough thing. I'm working on Floromancer every day. It's something, just working on it brings me joy. It's my #1 pastime activity. I'm a big fan of playing big RPGs. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth came out in February. I pre-ordered it. I played Remake nonstop. I put 100 hours into Remake. And I haven't been playing it because when I sit down in my room or at my desk and say, what am I going to do today? My immediate go-to is like, man, I've been thinking about this thing I can do for Florimancer all day. And I don't want to say it's caused any relationships, but or issues or anything, but it takes a lot of time and energy from me, not in a bad way, but I just think a lot about, and maybe I'm getting a little redundant at this point, what the ultimate payoff is. And I would just encourage you as an independent game developer to sit back and think about the same thing. When you're making your game, think of it today, or even starting to make your game. Think of it today, think of it tomorrow, think of it next year, think of it 5 years, because when you're making a game at a certain size and scale, that is your time frame. That is my time frame for Florimancer. I don't know if I've shared that this has been in active development, programming and sprites and everything for over 2 years at this point. I've taken breaks. I have had huge sprints with the game like I'm on right now. That's all on that topic. The other one is the state of, and maybe I'll put a little like link or image at the beginning to like say, hey, here's the two kind of topics I want to be about. But the state of the devlog videos for Florimancer, I enjoy making them. I'm not a great video editor. I'm just kind of splicing together some footage and writing a little script and talking about my thoughts. But when I think of a YouTube devlog, I was talking to Lucas about when I wanted to start making the videos, because honestly, part of it, and always it will be for every devlog video out there, a little bit of it is marketing the game. And I wanted to grow a little bit of a bigger audience. I wanted to grow a little community, again, not for the sake of putting a bunch of future buyers in one place, but for the sake of just having a community and making friends and building a little space around something that we can all appreciate. But anyway, the state of the devlog videos is that I didn't want to make videos that were like, hey, here's your weekly Florimancer update. I programmed this feature. I drew this sprite. I added these enemies, and here's how you defeat them, like I see in some other devlog videos. No hate, no shame. I love watching these videos, and I want everybody to continue. But I feel like it disincentivizes people from playing the game when you have things like that. If I'm sharing all the details up front, and you can go and see into every detail, every line of code, every sprite, every like inch of progress, I don't feel I need to play that game. I love watching the videos. I don't feel a need to play the game, and I don't want that to be the case with Florimancer. I want it to be something surprising and delightful, and I want people to play it. So what I'm getting at is I'm going to be having a little bit of a shift in my YouTube channel. I want to talk about more higher level or bigger picture indie game stuff and development topics, using Florimancer, as long as it's in development, as sort of a basis for those. Not so much like things that I've been posting on the Game Maker forums that are like, hey, here's an update, here's this feature that I implemented, this is what happens when you do this kind of stuff. Because I want people to want to play the game. Like I said, I want to surprise and delight, and I want people to experiment, and I like giving people a look into my head and my thoughts, but I don't really want that to give anything away. So keep that in mind when you're making your game too. Think of your long-term strategy with this thing. Marketing is so important. If you want anybody to play your game, it doesn't matter if it's a free little thing that you made in a weekend. If you're looking at getting anybody to play it, marketing is important. YouTube is a great way to play that. We have a huge reach here, audience. I obviously only have like 30 something subscribers, but it's not about the numbers to me. Every one of those subscribers means the world, right? People that are just interested in me and what I'm doing in my games, and I want to give back. But this is what happens when I go off script. I got a little tangent going. Just think about it. Think about what you're going to do, how you're going to reach, and what level of reach do you want to achieve. If you want to show off your details, if it's really about making your game, then great, do it, make those videos. But if you want to surprise and delight, scale back. Look at different marketing methods. Look at getting on TikTok or Instagram. I can't support Twitter or X in its current state for reasons that I feel like I don't have to talk about here in September of 2024. But, join Discords, make a Discord, do what you have to do to reach your audience, build a community, make the friends, support others in their endeavors. I'll do that all day, every day. If you bring me something that you made, I'll be the first one to say, like, you did it. You made something, and this is worth my time to play, because I find inspiration in everything. I went on a walk the other day, and just things that I saw in nature and outside gave me ideas for like enemies in Florimancer and puzzles, and ideas for just other things and projects that I want to work on. So take the time, make something. Support others and just find something to make you happy. That is, I guess, the point of this. That's what I'm trying to say, really. Find the right balance of risk, time, and reward, and make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. And make sure that along the way you are doing it and doing it the best that you can. Thanks for sticking through my little 10-minute rant, I suppose, if you made it this far, and I hope you have a great day.